Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams, and Eugene O'Neill get plenty of spotlight on the ELA curriculum stage. And sure, it's well-deserved. But they aren't the only incredible American playwrights to pick up a pen in the last century. If you're looking for some contemporary plays to share with your students, and you're struggling to find ones that fit your vision and fit the maturity level of your kiddos, I've got a quick idea for you today. So here it is. You've got your stack of A Streetcar Named Desire or Death of a Salesman ready for your students, as always, and you have a series of Pulitzer Prize-winning contemporary playwright snapshots to share. It's the classic yes and combination that comes straight from the improv playbook. Each of your snapshots will let students learn about an award-winning contemporary playwright by exploring their background, learning about the play which won them a Pulitzer, and then watching a little bit of that play. You'll get to showcase a diverse range of writers and topics, and you can avoid moments in the plays which might be a little too intense or mature for the age of your students. My deep dive down the YouTube rabbit hole leads me to believe that most award-winning plays feature at least some scenes that are rated PG. It's a little like First Chapter Fridays, except for plays. You're introducing your students to a much wider world than the single lens on theater that whatever your assigned play can provide, wonderful though it may be, by showcasing complementary work regularly. At the same time, you can work through a whole class read with rich literary merit, and a whole class read that your school has already purchased and improved. So, how can you get started quickly and easily? That's what today's episode is all about. I'll walk you through how I created some of these snapshots, which, of course, I will share with you as a free resource, and then you'll be ready to create more of your own if you want to go further. Welcome to the Spark Creativity Teacher Podcast, a podcast for English teachers looking for more creativity, more engagement, more joy, and no more scripted curriculum, lesson planning ruts, or boring book lists. I'm Betsy Potash, and I'm honored you're trusting me to help. You're not alone on this creative journey anymore. For an obvious and awesome place to start, let's dip our toes into Lin-Manuel Miranda's much-beloved show Hamilton, winner of the Pulitzer Prize in 2016. To guide students through exploring the play quickly, I set up a little clickable activity on Google Slides. Students will start with learning about the playwright through his legitimately super cool website, then watch the extended trailer on PBS, and finally see several of the show's most famous songs stitched together in this montage. After wandering through these 3 carefully curated links, they'll have a new awareness of Lin-Manuel Miranda, the context of his work, and the nature of his musical. I would suggest wrapping up this activity and any activity like this with 2 simple questions. How does this playwright's work stand out as unique to you? And did this playwright's work make you see theater differently? Okay, now you have the idea. It's just a matter of rinse and repeat. You find a playwright whose work you love, you find a bio, a video about the play, and then a clip about the play that fits your classroom community. So let me walk you through a couple more. There are 4 in the snapshot series that I'm going to share with you, and then of course you can add more of your own. In my second one, we're featuring Sanaz Tusi, who won the Pulitzer for her play English in 2023. This play is all about adult students in Iran who are learning the language of English. And I was really intrigued by something that Tusi said in an interview. This was with American Theater, and she was talking about one of the plays that she saw as a young playwright, and it was Amy Herzog's 4,000 Miles. And here's what she said. I was like, these are actual people. I thought I could never be a playwright because playwriting is about showing people that you're smart. That's what I always thought it was. It feels like a project to make everyone feel stupid. So for Tusi, Amy Herzog's play really opened up the world of theater to her and made her feel like she could be part of it. And I kind of feel like in a full circle type of moment, Tusi's play could do that now for a lot of other people, maybe for your students. Okay, playwright number 3 that I want to just chat through here today is Lynn Nottage. Now, she's actually won 2 Pulitzer Prizes, but I just want to especially talk about her play Sweat, which won the award in 2017. For me, the really fascinating thing here is the research that went into this play, and I think it might be really intriguing to students too. And so that's kind of what I focused on in the snapshot, partly because the play itself has quite a lot of maturity. And so I was able to find some clips that work for the activity, but maybe the highlight of the snapshot is for them to see the work of the playwright that led to the play, even more so than the play itself. So she decided, after reading an article that mentioned the city of Reading, Pennsylvania, as kind of being like an epicenter of like the crippling economic decline that happened when many factories in the United States were outsourced or shut down. She decided that she was going to go to Reading, Pennsylvania, and she was going to study the city, talk to people there, try to learn on a personal level, what was that like? How could she represent that turn in the sort of big picture of America through personal intertwined stories in a play? And she, to hear her tell it in her interviews, was quite nervous showing up in Reading, like, is anybody even going to be willing to talk to me? This is so personal. This is so difficult. Why would anybody talk to a visiting artist and let their story be made into art? But what she actually found was that she could relate to the people a lot, and that they had wonderful conversations, and people did want to open up and tell their story and tell the story of their city. And so ultimately she stayed. When she thought she was going to be researching there for a couple of weeks, she actually stayed for 2 years and was doing the background for this play for all that time, just learning everything she could, talking to people in all these different situations around the city. And I think students could be really intrigued to learn that, right? In this snapshot. They're just going to learn it quickly by watching an interview with her, but still, it's maybe not what they would expect as they think about how a playwright writes a play, to go into a city with this sort of nut of an idea, and then just to be exploring and having conversations with people and learning how they feel and what they've experienced and understanding the language with which they tell it, and then writing a play. Pretty interesting. Okay, my friend, are you ready to grab this resource and get started as soon as you want? I'm going to put the link for the free download in the show notes so that you can grab it. As always, I've gone to some lengths to choose appropriate clips, but I don't know your exact classroom, your exact situation, how old your students are, and whatnot. So please do take a peek at the videos before you showcase them to your students. And then, maybe you will use this format to continue and create more contemporary snapshots of your own. There certainly are plenty more Pulitzer Prize winning playwrights out there. And I'm sure you have some favorites that you might like to share with your students. Thanks so much for joining me today to talk about a question I hear often. How can we incorporate more contemporary voices into the study of theater and ELA? Until next time, take care of yourself and stay creative.